Hi, I'm Andrew with Odd Harmonics, and in this video, I'll show you how to nest macros inside other macros in Nexus. Nesting macros is a great way to save work when you have to do the same set of actions over and over. Instead of repeatedly writing those actions, you can just build them into a macro and run that macro from inside other macros. Nesting macros seems complicated at first, but it's actually really easy to do, and it can make your programming more reliable and efficient. Let's start with the Run Another Macro action. You add it to a macro just like you would any other action. Choose the Nexus category and the Run Another Macro command. It has one main parameter, which other macro you want to run. We'll talk about loop protection a little later. For now, we'll leave it on. Let's build an example. Let's say you have an office building of 10 rooms, and each of those rooms needs a startup macro and a shutdown macro. Build those macros as normal. Let's say your building is divided into multiple floors, and you want to shut down the entire first floor all at once. It would be a headache to rewrite all the shutdown actions for all the first floor into a single macro. Instead, we'll make a shutdown floor 1 macro, and inside it, we'll make an action for each room we want to shut down. Each of those actions will just run that room's shutdown macro that we already wrote. Now that we have one action, it's easy to copy and paste to build the others. We'll use the same method to build a shutdown macro for floor 2. First, make the macro, and then the first room's action. Next, copy and paste the action for the other rooms. Now what if you want to shut down the entire building at the end of the day? No problem. Just make a macro that has an action for each floor you want to shut down. By doing this, we've saved a ton of work. We wrote each room's actions only once, but we got to use them in multiple macros. For your project, use whatever groupings make sense to you. When programming it, though, I'd recommend starting with the macros that have the smallest scope, such as rooms, and then make the bigger macros, like floors and buildings. It's a lot easier than doing it the other way around. When nesting macros, one thing to watch out for is infinite loops. For example, A triggers B triggers C, and C triggers A. An infinite loop of macros like this would cause Nexus to try to run an infinite amount of macros as fast as it can. Nexus would crash and reboot. That's why there's the loop protection parameter as part of each Run Another Macro action. Loop protection prevents infinite loops from running. In some very specific circumstances, though, you do want an infinite loop. For example, an escape room or other walkthrough experience might want some ambience effects to slowly loop over the course of an hour. In that situation, set loop protection to false and create a loop of macros using Run Another Macro actions. If you're going to do this, you have to set a delay on at least one of the actions in order to prevent the loop from going infinitely fast. If you get into trouble and can't stop a loop, remember you can cancel upcoming actions by going to the Status tab, then Q, Stop Q. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. Check out the next video in this series to learn about Nexus databases, which are a great way to instantly recall Nexus settings. For more information about Nexus, or to buy a Pro license, go to odd-harmonics.com. And if you have any questions, please email us at support@odd-harmonics.com. Thanks for watching.